Well, hi everyone, and welcome back to Kiki's Kitchen. Today we are making brown rice. Actually, we're making brown rice as a side dish, and then we are doing a stuffed pork loin. So that will come later, but I wanted to start this one now. Um, and what you start with, this is a very simple and just absolutely delicious dinner. So we're going to start with our onions, and what I'm going to use. Let me use this one. Is I'm going to cut it root to root, which is what I always try to show you. I really did try to put my camera on the other side so I could get a better angle, but my setting sun is blinding, and so this is the best I can do. So we're going to cut it root to root. We're going to cut the root ends off. And peel the onion. See if it'll peel nicely for me. I've got some butter because we're going to put this down in butter and melted butter. So I've got some butter over on the stove, and I'll tell you, butter and onions, pretty good smell, I have to say. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this. Hang on, I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to wash my onion. I always wash my onions, always. Be right back. Okay, I washed my onion, so now I want to lay it flat, and then I want to take my knife, and I want to go halfway down. I don't want to go all the way to the back, or actually to the quarter. Do you see that? I'm almost to the back, but not quite. And I'm going to do that. This is 3, maybe 4 times. And then I'm going to lay it down on its face, and I'm going to cut it this way. Cut into it, almost to the back. Again, not all the way. Several cuts. And then I'm going to take it this way and cut it. I would tell you to keep your tip of your knife down, but that's not always possible to get that. But cut it as thin as you can. So you get to that last one, and then put it on its face. And now keep your tip down and just mill it through there, watching your fingers. Be careful. You'll hear me talk about a sharp knife is your friend. Sharp knife is your friend. A dull knife, you're gonna be applying more pressure, but it'll still cut you. So if you can see that, see all those? Let me spread them out a little bit. They're all basically the same size. Therefore, they will cook the same at the same time. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to cut it almost to the back. And about 4 times, something like that. Lay it on its face. Get back in there. And several cuts around the top, and then back down to the front. This might be elementary for some of you seasoned cooks, but for some of my newbies, it's a fast way to get a uniform cut on an onion. So then take this place, put it on its face, keep your tip down, keep your fingers off that knife, and there you go. Okay, so that is step 1. I am going to take you over to the stove, so we'll be right back. Okay, if you can see this, well, I guess I could have figured that out a little bit better. If you can see this, I've got melted butter down in here. This is 1 stick of butter and 1 onion, diced. I'm going to put that onion in here to saute up, and along with that, I'm going to put a cup of white rice. Hang on, let me get a spoon. Okay, so I am sauteing this up, and what I want to have happen is I want these onions to saute and get nice and tender, but I also want my rice to get a little on the golden brown side. So I'm going to mix it all in here and then kind of flatten it out so that it has a chance to, everything has a chance to brown up. I'm going to put you on pause so you don't have to sit here with me for this whole thing. This is a great recipe. I'm going to tell you the basis of what we're going to do. We're going to let this get nice and golden brown, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take this mixture and we're going to put this in our casserole that we have sprayed with Pam, and then we're going to just simply dump a can of Campbell's beef consommé and Campbell's beef broth. Now I know that I always tell you to use stock, but in this particular recipe, because the consommé is strong, that's what it calls for, is the can of the broth and a can of the consommé. So let's get this browned up, and it's starting to brown now. And I'm going to put you on pause while this browns, and I will get our casserole ready. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so I want you to see down in here so you can see how it's nice and brown. You see how that's nice and golden brown? So all I'm going to do is carefully, because this thing is, it's one of my cast iron favorites. You know how I am with my cast iron, right? So I'm going to turn that off. And I'm going to put this in my casserole. Close that. Now, I've got a bunch left here. This I know. But trust me, it's really heavy, so I have to do this one in 2 steps to get all of the yummy rice and onion. That's what I'm not going to do. Okay. Let's see how good this will come out. Good enough. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread this out a little bit. And I'm going to add my beef consommé right over the top. See? Beef consommé. And then my 1 can of beef broth. Beef broth. And then this is what it looks like. All liquidy like that. I have my oven preheating at 350. I'm going to put it in my oven for 1 hour. And when it comes out, I'll stir it around a little bit so that if there's anything crunchy on the top, it'll kind of get mixed in and soften up again. But for 45 minutes to an hour, you'll see when it's nice and everything's been absorbed. But usually it's about an hour at 350 uncovered. So I will likely not be able to show you the finished product because I'm moving on to something else. I got to close my phone so you can look for the still picture of this to see the finished product, okay? All right, we'll see you later. Bye.